It's 8:59. Let's go to the telephone and join Senior Counsel Anthony Estefan. Senior Counsel, good morning.
Darrell, good morning.
Good morning.
Look, it's not every day I agree with Mommy, but I agree with all the bamboo Mommy put a Linton this morning. For obvious reasons. Did Linton read the invitation? Did Linton see in the invitation that the president, who has the right to invite who he wants, was inviting Alan Shastre, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Prime Minister or the President of Haiti, and one other one, Bahamas, I think it was?
Yes.
To discuss two things. One, the predatory practices of China. Two, Venezuela. Let's just pause there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just pause there for a second.
Yes.
I saw the same article. Daryl, could you call me back in 2 minutes?
Yes, I can do that. It is 9 o'clock. Let's go over to the overseas line. On the overseas line, good morning.
Yes, Daryl, good morning. We are in a crossroad in the world right now, where some people try to divide the world, and there are some that try to unify the world. And when I say divide, is what Linton them is preaching is division. When they don't get their way, they force their way on things. Daryl, we have to always remember that the friends that we choose is not always in our best interest. Those who hold that invitation to high esteem, I want you to note that the inviter, called those same countries shithole countries. Now, but it is of their interest now to get support for whatever they want from those countries they think that they know will support them to do whatever they want. Daryl, it was in my lifetime when Mandela was in prison and the American president used Dominica Prime Minister to vote for apartheid in South Africa. That happened in my lifetime, Daryl. Okay? So, and yes, we saw Dominica Prime Minister was invited to the White House. Why? For their own interest, not in Dominica interest.
Comrade?
So
Yes. Can I ask you to hold on? I have
Sure.
Senior Counsel on the line.
Sure.
All right, then. Senior Counsel?
My apologies. It was an urgent call I had expected this morning.
Yes.
And I'm sorry to have that. Sorry, my apologies to the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, the invitation says to discuss China's predatory practices in the Caribbean and Venezuela. Linton has published a long statement in DNO that Donny referred to, praising, not criticizing, praising this fundamental, substantial, and transformational assistance given to the Dominica by the People's Republic of China. Dominica has had a relationship with the People's Republic of China because of Roosevelt's case. Nobody else. And the People's Republic of China has been fantastic friends and family members of the people of this country.
You need to stop.
No! Why would Roosevelt Skerritt want to go to Key Largo to discuss Chinese predatory practices in the Caribbean? The other one is Venezuela. Why would Roosevelt Skerritt who has stood with Venezuela as Chavez and Maduro stood with us, want to go to Venezuela to Quilago or Malago, whatever you call it, to discuss Venezuela. Why? Linton's intellectual orgasm with this emotional orgasm with this story reinforces again statements, the positions, the views, the perception, the belief that all of us have, including his supporters, that this man is an empty shell, a loudmouth, and a thug. Another fundamental principle, comrade. I'll come back to China and Venezuela in a moment because that is what they went to discuss. The Prime Minister invites, the President invites the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, which is his right. But St. Lucia recognizes Taiwan. Who is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia to discuss the People's Republic's position and relations with us or with Antigua? Who is he? What position does he have to speak for us on our relations with China, which Lennox Linton said is fantastic? And Alan Shastley, who faces sanctions from the United States caused by his government when they were there first on the extrajudicial killings by the St. Lucian police. And these sanctions remain today, and Shastley will dance any dance that's contrary to CARICOM and in favor of America to try to ease himself out of the sanctions imposed on St. Lucia and the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And indeed, one of his former minister friends in the cabinet on the last occasion. So let's apply some basic common sense here. You would think that an honest, competent, thoughtful leader of the opposition position would be, in view of his praise for China, would be, well, I hope the Prime Minister would have said, sorry, I cannot come to discuss these things because of my fundamentally important relationship with China and my long-standing relationship and the people of Venezuela's relationship with us. What am I going to come to you for? Secondly, I am not the Prime Minister of Trinidad or Barbados who are authorized to speak on behalf of CARICOM. And I'm not the chairman of CARICOM who happens to be Dr. Harris. And I cannot go and speak for the people and the governments of CARICOM. That is what a sensible leader of the opposition would have said. That is what I would have said. That is what you would have said. Mommy and all would have come and said the same thing on the way. Prime Minister, where you going? Ukale, where you going? Then there's the concept, the protocol, the structural, constitutional, legal relationship with CARICOM. CARICOM must never be divided in order to be defeated again. No single Prime Minister should be making decisions on behalf of CARICOM or the OECS unless authorized by thing. And it tells you the mindset of Lennox Linton that he's prepared to jump like one of these dancing things you see when people play the organ. They have some animal, I can't remember the name of it, with a chain around their neck, dancing to the music. That anyone who calls Linton to come and meet them, regardless of whether that meeting is in the interest of CARICOM or Dominica, he would go. And Linton is saying that he has total contempt as the leader of the opposition for the principles and protocol of CARICOM. That's what he's saying. And that's why he just turned up in Guyana. We either have a principled position or we don't. CARICOM has a position on Venezuela. A peaceful resolution. Alan Shastner decides to call for free and fair elections, new elections. Why? That is what the government of the United States wants. That's what the government of the United States wants. And he's making this thing look like Dominica, and Trinidadians are making this thing like Trinidad. Guyana was not invited. Guyana voted in favor of the resolution against Venezuela because of a border conflict with Venezuela. They were not invited. St. Vincent was not invited. Trinidad was not invited. Barbados was not invited. Antigua was not invited. St. Kitts was not invited. So the man that Mammy calls a complete and utter fool doesn't understand that what is happening here is once again a superpower seeking to divide and rule us. And that if CARICOM does not maintain a principled common position against influences from the United States and anybody else, that we are doomed. We will be doomed. We don't have a common CARICOM or OECS position on the European blacklisting because some prime ministers are being selfish and don't want to take into consideration the collective good. One of these prime ministers must have got the shock of his life yesterday or the day before when the European Union issued a strong warning to St. Lucia. We don't have a common position on the cruise line industry because everyone fighting for a little piece of the pie that they leave behind. We don't have a common position on the CCJ. We don't even have a common position on LIAT. Alan Chasney says he will not put any money in LIAT until the management, this and that. The government of Dominica put in LIAT money in the interest of Dominica because LIAT serves us. And you're not going to get a say on the board unless you invest. But the same Prime Minister Alan Shastney, as Minister of Tourism, spent $39 million subsidizing airlines into St. Lucia, whose commercial budget was larger than the national budget of St. Lucia. St. Kitts did the same. Grenada did the same. We either understand the basic politics of CARICOM unity, or we don't. We either have a common position or we don't. I would be embarrassed to know that Prime Minister Shastney is speaking on behalf of Dominica. Linton may like that.
So
because he and Linton were friends. He went and thief Alan Shastney speech, and Alan Shastney said, well, he didn't really thief it, he only copied it. It's frightening. It's not just a flip-flopping. Donnie mentioned one, comrade. Donnie mentioned a very simple one. Nothing's happening, Dominic. Comrade, let me tell you, this pushing thing you have, Daryl.
Yes.
Get a Calypsonian to make a song about pushing. Just
Hello? Hello? Senior Counsel, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. We seem to have lost you there for a few seconds.
Yes, sorry about that. No, I'm saying, did you hear, what was the last thing you heard?
You just started about the Calypso.
Yeah. Just last week in the Bronx, and in Texas, Linton was saying nothing's happening in Dominica in 18 years. I am seeing I'm getting screenshots from Facebook from his supporters saying nothing's happening in this country. In March 2019, when there are photographs and videos of the housing, of the roof construction, of everything taking place in Dominica, of the IMF statement, of the fantastic progress we've made. Let's put that aside. Linton is now telling the people of this country, the same people he told in Texas and in the Bronx that nothing's happening, that China has given substantial assistance to the people of this country. Whether it's the hospital, whether it's the stadium, whether it's the grammar school, whether it's the West Coast Road, whether it's the constant assistance after disasters, whether it's this and whether it's that, and assistance for the police force and so on. And this is the pushing politics that you find in houses of prostitution. Lincoln is a political prostitute of the highest order. He will tell people one thing today and a different thing on the next day. With China is the perfect example of that. How can you talk about nothing's happening in 18 years in any good sense? Only a madman could do that. And then you turn around and say the next day that China has done significant work for the people of this country. And I don't even want to get into the flip-flopping on electoral reform. We'll deal with that another time. So now, let me put it to you this way, right? This is another example of the shallowness, the lack of integrity, the lack of an ethical position, the lack of a principled position, a lack of understanding on what the true positions really are. Because any boy in fifth form or girl in fifth form or sixth form reading the invitation that spoke of China's predatory practices at Venezuela would have immediately asked themselves, but we're Prime Minister, why would Prime Minister Skerritt want to go to that? And if he got invited, but what is the Prime Minister going to say about predatory practices in Dominica? He said, what's that? What is he going to say? Look, the leader of the opposition just said they're doing fantastic work. Why would the Prime Minister take a hostile position to Venezuela when they've been good to us for the last how many years? And then the final press release that came out today or yesterday from Sarah Sanders mentioned thanking them for their support on Venezuela. That is, Daryl, do you have the press release there with you?
No, I don't. Let me look it up.
I think I sent it to you. 1 second. Just give me a second comment. So we can in good faith expose the ignorance that is taking place.
Yes, I have it. Prime Minister to meet with U.S. President, and that is from
the other one. Let me read it. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says Trump will use the meeting to thank the leaders for their support for peace and democracy in Venezuela.
Yes.
Ha!
Mm-hmm.
She says Trump will also discuss potential opportunities for energy investment. That's the last point I want.
Yes.
Really? We have spent, do you know, Daryl, that Dominica started considering geothermal development before 1995?
Yes.
Do you know that Dame Virginia Charles's government had signed an agreement with a company, an American company, to do geothermal exploration in Dominica?
Mm-hmm.
And when the United Workers' Party came into power, Edison, James, and Earl Williams shredded it, burnt it. When they ran out of toilet paper in the government headquarters, they sent it there for public servants to use. And then they went and sold out Domlec and imposed on us a minimum profit percentage of 15% or thereabout, and then put the cutlass in our back with the fuel adjustment charge, fuel surcharge. It is this government that has taken, when you listen to Ambassador Henderson, and I want to thank him for his great work on that, that plant should be named after him. We are on the verge of geothermal production. We just got $20-something million from the World Bank.
$27 million US.
To build the plant, right?
Yes.
So, what would the Prime Minister Skerritt tell Trump? He said, now you're coming with this? But we almost finished. Thank you for your invitation, but I suggest you invite Dr. Harris, who's the chairman of CARICOM, or Prime Minister Rowley, or Prime Minister Mia Motley, who are the authorized spokesmen of CARICOM. So when you consider the reasons for the meeting, Venezuela and the predatory practices of China, you have to ask Dr. Benjamin what's going on in the head of Lennox Linton for him to think that us being not invited to that meeting is something to look at from a negative perspective. I will leave it to you and your callers to repeat the points that I made. What is Kerry going to talk about China's predatory practices in the Caribbean? What is Kerry going to speak about with Venezuela, except to tell the president, well, maybe, boss man, I'm not sure what you're doing there is right? And what are the opportunities for energy investment we are going to discuss? On our geothermal plant, thanks to the Prime Minister, thanks to the Cabinet, thanks to the World Bank, thanks to the Clinton Foundation, and thanks to Ambassador Henderson, all that have put in human effort work into this over the last 10 years. We are on the verge of geothermal production. And always remember, Mr. Jukre, a transformation event when that production starts. So I just want to tell you, Daryl, that Linton has once again established himself as the most profound fool we ever had in our politics, locally and in the Caribbean. So you have a good day, comrade.
You too, Senior Counsel, you have a good day, and I think your closing statement said it all there. I totally agree with you. They're 9